We want to be able to encourage people through aroha and manaki, and it starts with a feed. Kia ora, ko Lionel hotene tōku ingoa. My name is Lionel, born and bred in South Auckland. Love our community, love our marae. Nani Mere was our matriarch. She was instrumental in addressing some of the food insecurities that we have here in Mangere. So we're happy to carry on with those traditions and aspire to what she was trying to do for the community. We have this beautiful project called Kai Ika, and we've been doing that now for about 3-4 years.
The Kai Ika Project started about 3 years ago. There was an organisation called the Outboard Boating Club down on Tāmaki Drive, and what they produced was a lot of fish heads and frames. We also knew that Papatūānuku Kōkiri Marae produced 80,000 kumara a year, and what they did with that kumara was they shared it with the community. We joined together in a partnership, Outboard Boating Club, Papatūānuku and Legacy. Primarily Legacy is an environmental organisation. We're focused on restoring our marine environment. We want an abundance for future generations. Now, what this Kai Ika project is all about maximum utilisation. It's about waste not, want not. If you utilise these natural resources effectively, then there's going to be less demand on our fisheries, and there's also going to be an ability to feed more of the community.
What's really exciting for me is people like the Kai Ika Project that are looking at completely new waste streams that a lot of people didn't even consider to be a waste stream before. And they're then connecting that up with particularly vulnerable people, but also getting culturally appropriate food to those people. So what they're doing with the fish heads and frames is, in my opinion, like the holy grail. This is stuff that was not even thought of as waste before, and now all of a sudden it's in families in South Auckland, some of these Polynesian families, this is the richest, most revered food in their culture. So they're taking this waste product and they're getting it straight into these families. So I think it's pretty outstanding, really.
It was motivating having the partners kind of wrap around us, having organisations that have been there for a long time, like Bobby Stafford Bush Foundation, the OBC, but then having organisations like Foundation North step up, Campbell Plumbing and KR Electric, who came in and plumbed in the container, gave us electric so that we had the capacity to spool up, because we couldn't take more fish without working fridges. That gave the rest of the team the motivation. We knew we had to get cracking. We knew that there was work to be done, but having everybody else come around alongside us, that's what really helped keep the whole process moving.
In light of what's happened with the pandemic and COVID-19, really important for us to keep the momentum around feeding our people, and we've been just overwhelmed with a lot of good people that have come on board and help us to move it forward. Royal Wolf stepped up and donated this container to us so that we had a suitable facility to process these fish.
Kai Ika approached Royal Wolf. We met with them, discussed the options that were available, and came up with a solution that was specific for them and the project. We provided a shipping container that's a 20-foot open-sider. It's an option for them to have a filleting station, but not only that, also a distribution centre to give back out to the community.
Over the COVID period with level 4 lockdown, we had queues 400 metres long outside the marae of everybody waiting to pick up fish. So we were, in many regards, quite lucky that we'd actually had the time to develop and prepare. So when we did find ourselves in the middle of this global pandemic, as everything started to close down, the demand ramped up. So at a time when we needed it the most, we didn't have access to fish. And that's when Moana stepped up. Moana New Zealand came aboard and they just filled that void, and they've been remarkable as partners. They just immediately got it. They understood the need to feed the community, and within a few days we were picking up 500 kilos a day from them. It's been incredible.
Local, it's an Otahu. We're about to pick up 500 kgs of snapper frames and heads, and the condition is just mint. They probably just cut it this morning, and yeah, the quantity and the quality is top notch.
Especially in these hard times, even if it wasn't hard times, there's a lot of people out there in need, but especially now, Moana Fisheries is more than happy to participate in this. We're really happy that got a chance to contribute to it.
So I think what the pandemic's done is it's highlighted the fact that there is food insecurity in this country. There's a lot of stuff in the media about food parcels, people trying to access food parcels, food banks. I know here at the marae, the line is longer than it's ever been before.
So we had a young person come in, and then he was coming in to get, because he saw the post on Facebook, and he came in to get some frames for his grandfather, and he came back and got some frames for himself because his grandfather cooked up a real good kai, and it was awesome to see that young people are connecting to a food source that they probably wouldn't eat because they're so keen on McDonald's and stuff like that. So and that was a real turning point, I suppose, that intergenerational connection that we're having in our community around the elders, kaumātua kuia, connecting with their mokopuna and sharing our food, sharing a good meal together.
This particular kai, it's just something else about it with our elders where not only is it the ultimate in comfort food, it's cultural food, it's food for the soul. And it's not just the luxury of this particular food, but it's that opportunity to interact and touch bases with our kaumātua. It's nice to go in and say hi, but it's a million times better to go in and go hi with a fish head.
I remember some stories about our ancestors on 2 massive waka, deep fishing and using nets, and fully laden with 50 warriors pulling up this net, and a sense of abundance there, and we want to go back to that and be familiar with kaimoana and what's in the sea.
Hopefully we can learn some lessons here, and what I think is really amazing is that New Zealand now is opening its eyes to this insecurity problem. I think a lot of the people that were food insecure are now more comfortable than they ever were to access a food parcel, to come down to the marae, to ask for some fish heads, to ask for help. So hopefully this isn't just a short-term thing, just a one-time thing. We can learn from this, we can be more compassionate, we can help people that are suffering food insecurity, and also we can look at our food systems, our exports, how we act as a massive producer of incredible quality food, and start to divert that back into where it's most important, which is right here at home.
Achieving this essential service status was quite an eye-opener for me personally. I knew that it was an important role within the community, but that was what cemented the reality that we all need to just be thinking about fundamentals, and that's shelter and good food. There's not a lot more that matters in life. As long as you've got a full stomach, then everything else is a little bit easier.
That's what the pandemic has done. It's given people opportunities to start to think about what they value, and food is at the forefront in this community. It's tātou tātou. We're all in this together, and we're not going anywhere.